Good morning, my dear children. Welcome to the virtual session of Class 7 English Literature, Chapter 3. The chapter which we are going to cover in this video is Savera by Paru Anand. Now, before starting this chapter, I would like to give you a brief introduction of the author of this story, Paru Anand. Paru Anand was born in 1957. She has written several books for children, including plays, short stories, novels. Some of her well known works are Elephants Don't Diet, Pets Please, and Born to Lead. She is also a performance storyteller and has performed her stories in India and also in the United Kingdom, France, and Switzerland. Okay, children, so before starting this short story, I just will ask you to imagine that you have to leave your school because your family is moving to another city. And ma'am would like to ask you few questions that how would you feel about having to leave your friends, or how would you feel about having to join another school? So these questions, I think they will disturb you, isn't it? Now, why am I asking these questions? Why? Because in this story, the narrator recalls how difficult it was for her to change schools mid-term. She goes on to tell her courage and determination to succeed won her the acceptance and recognition from her new schoolmate. So in this story, you're just going to know that the narrator of the story, she found it very difficult, okay, to change school midterm, and how she could, with the help of her courage and determination, she succeeded, okay, to win the acceptance and recognition from her new schoolmates. Okay, children, so now let us just make a reading of the text. I had arrived in the school in the middle of its term. It could not be helped. My father's life had suddenly taken a sharp U-turn. He had resigned from his job and decided to change tracks in his career. Our family had to pack up and leave our hometown. It was awful saying goodbye to all my old friends, especially Anu. And now our lives were turned upside down, and each of us was trying to cope with the changed circumstances as best as we could. But there was nothing to be done except wait and hope that too would have this cloud too would have its silver lining. Okay, children, so here now we come to know that the author, that is Paru Anand, okay, she had arrived in this school in the middle of its term, and she could not do anything to it. And what was the reason? The reason was that her father father's life had suddenly taken a sharp U-turn. What is the meaning of sharp U-turn? Okay, the sharp U-turn is the sudden change. Okay, so his father's life had taken sudden change, and what was the reason? He had to resign from his job, and then he decided to change tracks in his career. So he had some other options for his career, and as a result of that, their family had to pack up and leave our hometown. So which is the hometown here? Calcutta. She's talking about Calcutta. So they had to leave the city, Calcutta. It was awful saying goodbye to all my old friends, especially Anu. So this writer, okay, Paro, she finds it's very difficult. Awful, what is the meaning of awful? She felt very bad, okay, to say goodbye to her friends, especially to Anu. And now their lives were turned upside down. So what is the meaning of upside down? So their life was in disorder, or was in mess, or was in mix or mess, in disorder, okay, and they were trying to cope. So they were trying to adjust with the situation which changed circumstances as best we could. They were trying to cope up with all the circumstances, but there was nothing, okay, to be done. But they could not change the thing, okay, except wait. So what was there in their hand except waiting and hoping that that this cloud too would have a silver lining. So what is this? The writer, she has made use of a proverb that a cloud too would have its silver lining. That means every difficult situation has a hopeful aspects. And what is this difficult situation? The difficult situation here is that they are going to change. Okay, they are just going to change their place of living, and here for the writer it is the change of the school. So now we will move to the second paragraph. So here, my second day in this new school was marked with excitement. Trials were taking place for the inter-school athletics meet. The school team were to be chosen and finalized. Every house had its favorite for each event. Packets of glucose for the last minute energy boosts had been kept ready for those who were participating. So the second day of the school itself, okay, it was there was a lot of excitement in the school. Why? Because there was inter-school athletic meet and the trials were taking place, okay, and the teams, they were chosen, okay, and finalized. And there are different houses in a school, so every house, they had their favorite events, and packets of glucose for the last minute energy boosts, okay, had been kept ready for those who were participating. So there was a lot of environment of excitement on the second day of the school itself. Now we come to the third paragraph. As I sat near the track, shaking my legs to keep off the mid January chill and also, I guess, the nervousness, I had come from Calcutta with its warmer climate and was unprepared for the sting of Delhi's chilly winter morning. I wore a red t-shirt and white shorts. Red because I was put into the red house. But my housemates pretty much ignored me. Not that they were being unfriendly on purpose, just that it was a busy day. A day to back the favorite, not some unknown. I also cursed myself for being stupid enough to volunteer to run 800 meters race. Deepti told me that I had an impossibly tough race ahead. So now let us see the third paragraph in this. The narrator, that is Paru, she sat near the track. She was on the track, and she was shaking her legs to keep off. So what is the meaning of this expression, keep off? That is to avoid, okay, the mid-January chill. That means it was very cold, so she was shaking her legs to keep off, to avoid the chills, and also, I guess, the nervousness. And she was avoiding the mid-January chills as well as her nervousness. She was nervous. And here just you see that the narrator, she just says that this climate, okay, that is climate of Delhi was for which she was not prepared, okay, because she had come from Kolkata, and Kolkata, there it was warmer climate over there. So it was morning, it was chilly, Delhi's chilly winter morning. And this girl, now she is put into the she is putting a red t-shirt because now she is put into the red house. And but what about her housemates? That means those students who are from red house, they actually ignored her, and they were unfriendly to her, okay, and it was not on purpose they were doing this, okay. They were just it was not on purpose, it was just that this was a busy day. And why was it a busy day? Because the trials were taking place. Okay, so it was a busy day. A day to back the favorite, and they had their own favorite, so they were backing their own favorite, and she was not someone unknown. So who's unknown here? The narrator, that is Paru. Okay, so they were not ready to not ready to back. Okay, a unknown person. Okay, now I also cursed, and now Paro, she also cursed herself for being stupid enough to volunteer to run 800-meter race. So she has volunteered herself to run 800-meter race, and she was feeling like she was apprehensive. She had a doubt. Okay, Dipti told me that I had an tough race ahead. Impossibly tough race ahead. That means the race, 800-meter race, is going to be a tough one for her. Why? Because now let us see why it is. So now Suvira Mathur of Blue House has never been beaten in this event, not even at the inter-school event. In fact, she assured me Suvira holds the Delhi inter-school record for 800 meters. I eyed the said Miss Mathur. She had long muscular legs and a true runner's easy stride. She had a friendly face which flashed smiles to everyone dressed in blue t-shirt. But when she moved, she was like well-oiled machinery. I tried to shake off my feelings of certain disaster. I had to make a decent go of this. Now that I had put myself into this, I may as well give it my best shot. I had won the 800 meters a couple of times in Calcutta. What was the guarantee that Suvira was better and faster than me? Who knows? I could well turn out to be the new heroine of the show, queen of the fast track, or something grand like that. So here we find that Paro, she sees Miss Mathur, okay, that is Suvira Mathur, and then she is describing her, okay, her physical features. She says that she had long muscular legs, okay, her legs were full of muscles, she had long legs and a true runner's easy stride. So her stride is here the steps we take while we run or while we walk. So here she had a true runner's easy strides. Okay, so she had big steps. She had a friendly face. Okay, her face was friendly, which was flashing smiles to everyone dressed in blue t-shirt, as she belonged to the blue house. So she was smiling at everyone who was dressed in blue t-shirt. But when she moved, she was like well-oiled machinery. So now Paro is comparing Paro is comparing Suvira to a well-oiled machinery. So what is a well-oiled machinery? That means it is smooth. Okay, to do its function properly. So in the same way here, Suvira Mathur, she is a runner, so she is going to perform well. She is compared here to a well-oiled machinery. I tried to shake off my feelings of certain disaster. Now this girl here, okay, Paro here, she tries to shake off her feelings of certain disaster. So what was the certain disaster? Maybe she will not be able to win. Maybe she will be defeated here. So she wanted to say no to those feelings. I had to make a decent go of this. So she just wanted decent go of this means, what is the meaning of shake off? So she was trying to make it possible, okay, successful, that this feeling that I may be defeated, that feeling should go off from her heart. Now that I had put myself into this, I may as well give it my best shot. So now that she is saying that I have put myself into this, that means she has taken part in this 800 meters race. So now she wants to say that she wants to do her best as she can do. So she has taken part in 800 meter and she is going to do her best. I had won, and then she is trying here to bring the positive feelings. Okay, so she is just saying here that I had won 800 meters a couple of times in Calcutta. So she is an experienced runner. So she says that I had won this couple of times means many times. What was the guarantee that Suvira is better and faster than me? So how do I know that Suvira is better to me? Okay, better than me, and she is faster than me. So who knows? And then she is trying. These are all her feelings. Okay, then she is asking herself question that who knows, I could well turn out to be the new heroine of the show. So I would be the new winner of this show, that is 800 meter, queen of the fast track or something grand like that. Okay, so I can become a queen, I can win this race. So these were her feelings. She was just trying to boost up her confidence. Okay, now let us move to the next paragraph. With such wonderful and fanciful thoughts warming the cockles of my heart. Okay, so these are the wonderful and fanciful thoughts which she was thinking, that I may be the queen, okay, the queen of the fast track. So here, with such wonderful fanciful thoughts warming the cockles of my heart, I too got up to test my old, slightly battered spikes on the new unfamiliar track. No one cheered me on as I warmed up doing springs and stretches to force the winter chill out from my bones and muscles. Only the power of positive thinking and I were there hand in hand. I stopped to catch up my breath and watched the 110-meter hurdles and the high jump poles. I somehow had never been able to conquer these two events, but today I promised myself I would fly. So here, as we have seen in the earlier paragraph, she was having some fanciful and wonderful thoughts. Okay, warming the cockles of my heart. So what is the meaning of warming the cockles of my heart here? It means that giving oneself comfort, okay, comfortable feeling. So with these questions, okay, she was giving herself comfortable feelings. Okay, and then she stood up, so she too got up. That means, as so she was looking, you can just see the picture, she was looking, she's sitting here, just see, she is sitting and watching in the red t-shirt, and Suvira in blue t-shirt, she is practicing. So here she says that I too got up to test my old, slightly battered spikes. Now here we have two words, one is battered and spikes. So battered is little bit damaged by age and repeated use, and spikes are a pair of running shoes. Okay, so here she just says that she got up to test the old and slight battered spikes on new unfamiliar track. So now why she is calling it new and unfamiliar track? Because she has not run on this track. It was new for her, and for her spikes. Okay, new and unfamiliar. It was not familiar, not known to her. The track was not known to her and to her spikes. Now, no one cheered me on as I warmed up doing springs and stretches. Now here we have two words. What is springs and stretches? These are two kinds of exercises. Springs means you just exercise, okay, you just suddenly start jumping on the spot, so springs. And stretching means it is an exercise in which you try to extend your body. Okay, so she was warming a warm up. Okay, before starting any activity you want to warm up your body, so she is warming up her body by doing springs and stretches. And this she was doing to force the winter chill out of my bones and muscles. She just wanted to bring out, okay, throw out the winter from her body, that is from her bones and from her muscles. Only the power of positive thinking and I were there hand in hand. So what is the meaning of hand in hand? That is together. So here she says that Only the power of positive thinking. Now she is thinking positively, and she and her positive thinking, they were together. I stopped to catch my breath, watched the 110-meter hurdles and the high jump pole. So now she is looking at the many events were going on. Okay, so she was looking at 110-meter hurdles. Hurdles, barriers are kept, okay, at certain places, so they are called as the hurdle race. So 110-meter hurdle race and high jump, you have to high jump pole. So these were the two events. Okay, she had never been able to conquer these two events. Okay, these two events she was never able to win in this. But today I promised myself I would fly. So but today she is promising herself that she would fly, means she would give her best shot, or she is going to win. So now let us move to our next paragraph. And then the 800-meter race was announced. We drew lot for our lanes, and I got lane 3. I had picked the lane right next to Suvira, who was running in lane 4. Not a very auspicious start. A slight tremble shook my dwindling confidence. I admitted that for a fleeting moment I actually considered feigning a faint here, there, and then. But I could not let myself down that badly, could I? No, I may be a lot of things, but I'm not a chicken. Come on, come on. I coaxed my cold limbs as I did another round of quick sprints. I had so much to prove and so much to achieve. Okay children, so now what happens is that 800-meter race announcement was made. We drew lots for our lanes and I got lane 3. That means the meaning of drew lots means with the method of deciding, okay, by lot. That means some pieces of paper on which different lanes are written. So the participants, they have to just choose any of the piece of paper, and then with this method they will get the lanes, okay, the lanes in which these participants they are going to run. Okay, that is decided. So we drew lots for our lanes and got lane 3, and so she gets lane 3. I had picked up the lane right next to Suvira. What does that mean? That means that in lane 4 Suvira was going to run, and in lane 3 Paru was going to run. And then she is considering this as not a auspicious start. Okay, she says that this is not a auspicious. What is the meaning of auspicious start? That means it was not a favorable start. A slight tremble shook my dwindling confidence. Now here, what is it? It was a dwindling confidence. What is the meaning of dwindling? That is diminishing, gradually, sigh. Okay, so she had a confidence which was diminishing, which was coming down. So that was shaking. That there was a shake in her confidence. Okay, and that she is going to, and now she is going to make a admission. What she says here, I admit that for a fleeting moment. What is the meaning of fleeting? Fleeting is a moment which is for a short period of time, okay, lasting for short time. So here, for a fleeting moment, that is for a moment which was for a short time which lasted, I actually considered feigning a faint right there and then. So she just thought that, what is the meaning of feigning? So the meaning of feigning is, yes, pretending. So she had a thought, okay, that was thought that I should pretend that I am going to faint. Okay, I am fainting here and then. Then she thinks like that. She says that I make the admission that I thought that let me pretend to faint, but I couldn't let myself down that badly. So what is the meaning of let down? Let down means disappoint. Okay, she could not disappoint herself and that badly. Could I? No, she could not disappoint herself. No, I may be a lot of things. That means she may be having lot of drawbacks, okay? But I'm not a chicken. So what is the meaning of chicken here? Chicken is cowardly. So she says that I may have lot of drawbacks, but I was not a cowardly person. That means I can't pretend to faint. So come on and come on. I coaxed my cold limb as I did another round of quick sprints. So she was just saying come on and come on to boost up her confidence. So here she coaxed. What is the meaning of coaxed? She persuaded herself. Okay. What to do? She persuaded herself, okay, to have another one more round of quick sprints. Okay, so what is the sprint? It is an exercise in which a person suddenly starts jumping on the spot. Okay, I had so much to prove and so much to achieve, and then she is saying no, I have to prove myself that yes, I am a good athlete and I have to achieve medal. Okay, so now let us move to the next paragraph. You see, not only was I new to the school, but also my family and I had come away from Calcutta in what I viewed an unfortunate circumstances. Suddenly, our comfortable lifestyle has vanished. I knew my parents were putting a lot of financial pressure on themselves by admitting me into this good but expensive school. I had to live up to their expectations now and mine as well. So now she is telling about how difficult it was for her. Okay, so she says here, not only was I new to the school, but also my family and I had come away from Calcutta in what I viewed as unfortunate circumstances. So she was new, and the circumstances in which they shifted from Calcutta to Delhi was some unfortunate circumstances which cannot be overcome. So suddenly, and then she says, what was the outcome? Suddenly, our comfortable lifestyle has vanished. There in Kolkata, they were very comfortable, they had a nice lifestyle, and this was vanished. Suddenly, it has vanished. That means it has now gone. Okay, I knew my parents were putting a lot of financial pressure on themselves, and then she says that there was lot of financial pressure on them, on her parents. And why it was? Because they had admitted her, okay, they had admitted Paru into this was a very good school, but it was at the same time it was expensive school. So her parents, they were putting lot of financial pressure on themselves, and now she says that they are spending so much of money, so I had to live up to their expectations. That means I have to do certain things. Okay, and it was not only their expectation, it was mine as well. So I have to prove myself, she says here. Okay, now let us come to the next paragraph. I would compete wearing my old uh, battered spikes. Since I could not afford a new pair, I would wear my old spikes and I would win. Dear God, I had to win. So what she is saying here, I would compete wearing my old battered spikes. So she says that my spikes, they were damaged, okay, and she cannot buy. She was not able to afford a new pair, so she has to manage with them only. And I would wear my old spikes and I would win. Dear God, I had to win. And then she is saying, wearing them, I have to win this race. And then she is remembering God, and then she says, dear God, I had to win. On your marks, the starter's arm went up. The whole school ground went deathly quiet. And then there was this announcement that on your marks, the race was going to start. Okay, the starter's arm, the person who just says these words, on your marks, his arm went up and the whole school ground went deathly quiet. So everyone is quiet now. I crouched down behind this starting line. I tried not to look over to my right, but my eye caught the dark arm that had tensed, ready for the action. And now, what is the meaning of crouched? Crouched means to bend. Okay, bend behind the starting line. So there is a starting line. So she is bending, and she tried to look over to the right. Okay, she was just trying to see that she should see to her right, towards her right side, but her eyes caught the dark arm that had tensed, ready for the action. Okay, but she was looking at the other side, and she could see a dark arm that has tensed, ready for the action. Her friend, that was of Suvira, because Suvira was she was running next to her. She was in lane 4. Okay. With this, we come to an end of the part 1 of the video. Further chapter will be explained in part 2 of the video. Thank you.